welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. I am Reverend Penny Honey. Just a couple of things I want to share with you, and then I'm going to turn it over to Josie Devlin, our platform assistant for the day. First, I just want to remind you that March is March Membership Madness Month, and there's still time to be a part of one of the largest membership classes of Unity of Flagstaff. So won't you join us? If you have any questions, just reach out to me at office@unityoflagstaff.org or call the church at 928-526-8893. I look forward to hearing from you. Please save the date of April 4th, spring celebration. That's on Easter Sunday. We are going to come together outside. More details will follow. Check the website and of course be watching here on this YouTube channel, youtube.unityoflagstaff.org for more information. And you can always check it out on the website at www.unityoflagstaff.org, where you can also donate. And feel free to mail those contributions in, if that is a better fit for you, to P.O. Box 1740, Flagstaff 86002. I also encourage you to save the date of April 8th. Unity of Flagstaff is going to sponsor a blood drive here at the Sanctuary, 1800 South Milton, Suite 103. So please consider that, save the date, and check it out. My friends, again, we thank you for being here, and now I turn it over to Miss Josie Devlin. Thank you, Josie, for being here today.
Good morning. I'm Josie Devlin, and I'm happy to be here with you guys today. We have a couple of quick announcements. The first one, support all children in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Contribute to the Unity of Flagstaff Helping Hands project as we lend a hand this quarter to Kellogg Elementary School. Stuff like glue sticks, rubber bands, pencils. Always pencils. See our website at www.unityofflagstaff.org for a full list of needed supplies for the school. You can drop your contributions off here at the Sanctuary at 1800 South Milton, Suite 103 on Mondays and Thursdays from 10 to 6, or call the church and we can arrange for pickup. The number is 928-526-8893. Our next announcement, don't miss the rollout of our Nourish Your Body and Feed Your Soul. That sounds like a Grandma Main thing. Unity of Flagstaff recipe book. Perhaps not as fun as a potluck, but just as yummy. Almost 60 recipes of great food. You will want to stay and practice because potlucks will be coming back. Post-virus, of course. A suggested love offering of $20. Available on our website. Well, not the $20. The book's available on the website. But the love offering can be $20 or more. Check it out. Raise some money, fill your tummy, and look forward to some potlucks. So I was asked today also to give a little inspirational message. So today's message is about being a host for good and allowing the good inside of you to replicate and spread to the outside world. In considering this topic, I thought, who have I been inspired by to become a host for good in the world? It only took a moment for a name to drop in. Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, some people may want to know, why her? Well, although Eleanor was born into a very wealthy family, her early years were very difficult. Her father was an alcoholic. Her parents' marriage was a very troubled one. And by the age of 10, she was an orphan who was sent to live with her grandmother. Eleanor was an awkward, serious child. She was insecure and she was starved of affection. At the age of 15, she was sent abroad to a finishing school for young ladies. While at that school, her world opened up and she began to gain confidence. So now let's fast forward a number of years. And as First Lady, she became an outspoken public figure, as well as an author, humanitarian, and champion of many social causes. She was ahead of her time in being strongly in favor of women's rights. She fought for children's issues. She helped the poor, and she fought to combat racial discrimination, all while raising 6 children. One of her many famous quotes lends itself to today's message. And quote, "Since you get more joy out of giving joy to others, you should put a good deal of thought into the happiness you are able to give." End quote. She continues to this day to inspire people to find the greatness that is within all of us, to be the host for good, and to replicate that good in this world. So I challenge you to go out and become the host for good. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this moment of meditation. Thank you for honoring yourself. Just to relax and breathe deeply, releasing those concerns and those demands that we put on ourselves. Allowing ourselves to reconnect at a deeper place. So breathe now. Good, deep, deep belly breath. And release. I'm going to start today's I Am meditation with a short Om. At your level of comfort, join me in that. Resting your eyes quietly and closed, or softly fixed on an object in the room or in the space that you're currently in. And so we breathe deep breath. Christ consciousness. I am the divine expression. I am. One with all. I am. I am the light in the world. I am the Christ consciousness expressing I am. perfect health. I am abundance. I am light. I am. One with the power of the universe. I am. I am infinite. I am the expression of the divine. Grateful for this truth. I am. Namaste.
Hi, I'm Matt Devlin. I'm going to perform a brand new song that I wrote with Reverend Penni, honey. And the song originated from her idea of just like the virus needs a host to replicate, the consciousness of good needs people to host it so that it can replicate and good can spread. So this is called The Good. It's me, the good, just trying to get back in. And it's me, the good, trying to get back in. Like me and you, no harm, no disruption. I know you are wondering where I have been. Well, I've been missing you too, but it's something you choose. A conscious state, a choice you will make. And it's me, the good, just trying to get back in. And it's me, the good, just trying to get back in. And I need a host to open the door. There's so much more. Open the door. It's me, the good, just trying to get back in. It's been a little bit crazy with so much lately. I'm desperately waiting. I need an invitation. And it's getting late, and we're all so close. Time to replicate. I need you to host. And it's me, the good, just trying to get back in. And it's me, the good, trying to find a way again. And I need a host to open the door. There's so much more. Open the door. It's me, the good, trying to get back in. It's me, the good, trying to find a way again. So let me in, be the door, there's so much more. Open the door, it's me, the good, just trying to get back in. And it's me, the good, just trying to get back in. And it's me and you, we're trying to find our way again. Thank you.
It's me, the good. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for that. And thank you for inviting me into the creative process with you. And thanks for going along on this crazy metaphorical trip that I took you and Josie on as we worked through that song, as I was working through this message. Thank you. So my disclaimer today is this. I am not a scientist, and I don't play one on TV or on YouTube. Viruses are all around us. Virus, it's become a commonplace word in most households. At the last scientific study, there were at least 320,000 and counting viruses that affect mammals. Now, host cells are required in order for the virus to replicate itself. With enough replication, the virus will eventually take over the immune system of the victim, and boom, you're infected. Now again, I'm reiterating, I am not a scientist or a doctor, so I may have simplified that a little. However, what we do know is that without a host, the virus doesn't replicate. That's what we do know and what we do understand. No host, no expression for the virus. Now I know that this is a funny way to start a Sunday message. But go with me on this metaphorical journey that we're on today. Good is like that. Good is like that in the way that a virus is around and they are in abundance. Good is always around and in abundance. And like the virus, if it doesn't get to replicate, it can't take over its host. Now it's still there, and like a virus, we will get reminded periodically about the good that wants in. We'll get reminded by the virus that we may be carrying that. But because it's not powerful enough, or infused enough, or replicated enough, it won't take over. Now, good is much more abundant than the viruses. I will guarantee that. In fact, it's infinite. Sometimes it takes a host that we certainly wouldn't expect to see it in. That good that shows up in those unusual places and ways. But if we do not give the good in the universe a place to replicate, the opportunity and the power to replicate, it won't take over. No host, no expression. Okay, so I know there's a lot of room for misinterpretation here. The good in the world, especially this time of year, we think of the good coming to the planet in the form of man. And of course, we call that master teacher Jesus. Now, I'm not saying Jesus was a virus. What I'm saying is Jesus was a host. And there have been thousands of hosts that have walked this planet and still do. And in those hosts that open themselves to the good, they replicate that good in their lives and the lives of those around them. They change the world by making themselves available to that. And I'm not saying that good is a virus. I'm not saying that at all. This is all about metaphors. So stay with me on that, folks. Sort of like how we interpret Bible stories in Unity. We see them as allegory. And allegory is, it's layers of information that have layers of meaning. And that's what I'm inviting you into today. So for instance, whatever meaning you give to the season of spring, the new equinox, or how about Easter? Whatever that story is for you, whatever story brings the greatest expression of your divinity out, go with that one. There is a host in every one of those stories, regardless of what story you choose. And so because I'm the one that gets the camera and the microphone, my interpretation is this, is that Jesus was a host, as were many master teachers on this planet. And he is the big story when it comes to Easter, the big super expression of good coming to the planet. And as a Christian-inspired study of self-awareness, which is what unity is, we teach that that master teacher was an example. That he was the Christ. He was the Christ. And as the revealing word tells us, the Christ is the divine man. It's the Christ mind, it's the Christ consciousness that Jesus was so good at representing and replicating. A lot of people noticed, and they still do. Changes a lot of lives. Brings a lot of peace. And the big takeaway for me from that particular host is these works and greater you too shall do. So as long as we've cleared up that this is all about metaphors, and as long as we're on the same page, I want to get back to those viruses and those hosts. So interestingly enough, viruses are minimalists. So what that means is they only carry a few things. They really count on their host to provide what they need to carry on. Sort of like, I guess, room service, right? And it counts on their host being the host with the most in order to replicate. It either has to borrow or steal the machinery of the host, or it'll go out to the host and get a blueprint and bring it back so that it can get the design for its replication. And it's always seeking to replicate. I think it's like that for the good in the world, for the divine expression in the world. Divine intelligence. It provides the structure, the blueprint, if you will, for peace, for abundance, for joy, for compassion, for unity, for connection. Good, the good that resides within each and every one of us, laying in wait to express. The good that's trying to get back in and be an expression through us. It teaches us how to live. But it needs a host to replicate. And like a virus, it is ever seeking a host. Good is always looking for a way to express in our world and through us. And if we allow it to replicate, it will take over. It'll take over our lives. It will bring us peace that passes all understanding when we allow the good to replicate. When we allow ourselves to be a host for that divine expression. Now I realize this is a bit tongue-in-cheek. I get that. And I'm not making light of the seriousness and the impact that this virus has made on so many, too many lives, and the layers of life that it has impacted. You know, the intelligence of this COVID-19 is stunning. It's had the power to really put us back on our heels for a while. And even with all that power that the virus has wielded, consider the power of good in this world. Infinite power of good. No comparison. That's the reason I see the Master Teacher, Jesus, as a host for the good. But it's not limited to one host. And he was the first to say that. It's not limited. And we're all primed, and we came to this planet as the expressions, as the children of God. We are the divine man expressing. And if we allow that good to be hosted within us, we will replicate that and send it out into the world. Now, those hosts won't always be names of people that you recognize. We have the Gandhis, and we have the Mandelas, and we have the Martin Luther King Jr.'s, and we've got the Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and the list goes on. But you won't always see or know the names of the many hosts for good that are walking around. Right here in Flagstaff, I bet you can think of a few. I know I can. I have a dear friend. Her name is Rebecca. Rebecca is responsible for having brought the peace pole to Heritage Square. Rebecca, after walking through the loss of her son to a violent murder, heard the good knocking. And she said, I'll be a host. I want to be a host for peace. And she started there. And we now are blessed, and that good and that peace is replicated throughout our community. And for all those that step into Heritage Square, they are reminded of the power of peace. Because Rebecca said yes to being a host. How about all those grandparents on duty, those GODs as I like to call them, that are supporting their kids and their grandkids in this time of homeschooling and now getting ready to go back to school. And they said, I'll be a host. I'll do that. And they have replicated that good in their lives and the lives of their grandchildren. And that makes a difference on the planet. Our teachers, our classroom support people, our healthcare professionals, our police officers, our moms, our dads, our children. We are surrounded by people who've thrown their hand up in the air and said, I'll be a host. I'll be a host for the good in the world. And you won't always see their names on a list somewhere. I am is the Christ mind. I am the light, the truth, and the way. I am is the Christ consciousness that resides within each and every one of us. And as my mother would say, you am. And I would add, you am the Christ. You am the Christ consciousness, the good. The Christ abides in each person as the potential of that person. You are the host. And the good just wants in and wants to replicate in your life. You are. You know, Jesus left a big impression. He was the guy of the hour. And he taught us that new thinking about loving yourself and loving your neighbor. Revisiting the old laws and transforming them so that they fit into our everyday life. He got a lot of airtime. So did the virus. You know, there were a lot of people angry with him because he wasn't fulfilling their personal agendas that they had planned for him. Sounds a lot like what was going on with a virus that was looking for a host. As a host, he came here, and like so many hosts in the world today, to show that the power of good, that the Christ consciousness can and does express as the divine human. You am. That's you. The Christ within you. What a great example that teacher taught us. What a great example for us to follow. What a great blueprint for living we've been given in these studies of the masters and looking around and seeing the hosts of good that we are surrounded by. Ernest Holmes reminds us of this. He says, let us seek the good and the true and believe in them with our whole heart. You know, when Matt and I started working on that song, I sent Matt this concept of the host and it replicating, and that's what good is looking for. It's just looking for a host. Matt told Josie, what is she talking about? And I love that he still kept his mind and his heart open to have the conversation. The good that you just heard, the song, I kept envisioning when we were talking about, because what we were talking about was this song is coming from the point of view of the good. So I kept getting this vision of this student in a classroom or possibly on Zoom. And she's got her hand up in the air. And she just can't hardly stay in her seat because she just wants to be called. Calling me, pick me. I've got the answer. Pick me. That's how I envision the good in the world. Pick me. I've got the answer. Pick me. And you know, the definition of good, again from the Revealing Word, written by Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, is this. Good is the absolute, the incomparable. I'll take some of that. I'm all about that. I'll take it. I'll be a host. Replicate that in my life. How about yours? And most of you are, is the thing. Most of you are doing that. You are hosts for good, but how about we turn it up a notch? How about we take that Yelp review of 3.5 stars and let's go for the 5-star review. Let's turn that hosting and that availability to the good that is in the world and is looking to express through us the divine expression of who we are. Let's turn it up. Let's invite that in. Let's replicate that good in our lives and in the lives of everyone around us. Let's be a host. And how do we do that? Just like in the song that Matt brought to us. Open the door. Open the doors. Open the doors. Be the host with the most and open the doors. You know, the life of Jesus, just like the life of Buddha, like the stories from the prophet of Muhammad, we're always invited to open the doors. Knock and the door will be opened. And what I believe we are looking to do when we say open the doors is to open our minds. The door of our mind is that I am. It is the I am. And open the doors of your heart. The heart being the subconscious mind in metaphysics. Oh, the good that it can replicate by opening the doors to your heart. And open the doors to your ears. You know, the ears metaphysically represent receptivity. Open your receptivity. Turn it up a notch. And open our mouths. Now, how often do you get that invitation? Eric Butterworth would affirm this often when he would speak. He would say, let something good be said. Again, I imagine that little girl with their hand up in the air. Just like the good that is saying pick me. Negotiating through all the trivia and the drama and the noise that can run through our minds and want to come out of our mouths. Let something good be said. Open the door. Hostess with the mostess? Yeah. Let's go for that 5-star rating. It's me, the good. Open the door. Namaste, my friends. Namaste.
It's me, the good. I'm trying to get back in. It's me, the good. Trying to find a way back in. And I need a host to open the door. There's so much more. Open the door. It's me, the good. Trying to get back in. It's me, the good. Trying to find a way back in. And I need a host to open the door. There's so much more. Just open the door. It's me, the good, trying to get back in.
Thank you again, Matt. We are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed with your talent, and thank you for sharing it with us. I also want to shout out to Robbie Bergman. It was in our social hour, which happens every Sunday at 11 o'clock. You'll find that link, of course, on our website to join us. We have a lot of fun. Robbie brought up this conversation about the virus and the host and the replicating, and that was where the inspiration for this message came from. I am surrounded by brilliance. So once again, Robbie, thank you for that. And a shout out to Trina Goetz, who does an amazing job on the video editing every week for our messages. Thank you, Trina. And if you're not getting that newsletter, please email me at office@unityofflagstaff.org. Marsha Wiesner does a lot of work on that newsletter every week, and we appreciate her, so don't miss out on all the information that it has. Again, my friends, I am honored to serve this community that is filled with amazing hosts for good. Thank you. And now enjoy the music of Daniel Nahmod as he presents Swing Wide the Doors. Namaste. Be blessed.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now. Doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. Shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to